Namaste. For 14 years, we've looked forward to this day, Teachers' Day, to dress up like our teachers and teach an entire classroom, to honor what you do so effortlessly. We've prayed for its quick delivery, marked days of our calendars, counted hours, minutes. Yeah, yet now when it's here, I'm sorry that it is. In this unprecedented time, you have worked even more relentlessly than before to ensure our uninterrupted education. Though this warrants a higher commendation and a more grand celebration, we are dejected that this is happening behind screens. But we won't let this day pass without letting you know that you mean the world to us. 4,849 days back, when we entered that building, you took us from our parents' arms into yours. Some of us even crying and kicking, and treated us like your own. Year after year, through this metamorphosis, you have encouraged us to do what we wanted to do and be what we wanted to be. Through every single step, you held our hands, showed us right from wrong, let us make our own mistakes, tolerated our disrespectful ways, and you've been right there to put us back on our feet when we hit rock bottom. Every time we achieve something, no matter how small or frivolous, you send words of high praise our way to uplift us. I know we should be saying this every day, but dear teachers, we are eternally grateful to you. Because in your life, you chose something, and you chose that to help us. Because you work through the day that starts as early as 5 in the morning to teach us, and stay back even longer to take extra classes or help us boost our extracurriculars. Because in every student, you didn't just look for good grades. You looked for the beauty, the challenge and the progress, because you know that an A1 isn't just going to cut it. Because you know that each of us are made differently, that we are unique in our own way. Because in this life, you fought alongside us so far, preparing us for the world we are stepping out into. And for all this, and the million things that you do each day that words can't even describe, on behalf of the whole batch of 2021, I thank you wholeheartedly.
In the words of Dr. Sarupalli Radhakrishnan, teachers should be the best minds in the country. Now, let's have a look at some of India's most wonderful teachers.
I'm sure that everybody knows about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I mean, who doesn't? Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was a practical educational thinker and visionary. Despite the range of titles he had earned, he preferred to call himself a teacher. Dr. Kalam lays great emphasis on education. He believed that the teachers, particularly school teachers, have a tremendous responsibility in shaping the life of an individual. Late Dr. Kalam was a huge advocate of education as the primary driving force of personal growth. He believed that it was knowledge that made a person great. According to Dr. Kalam, the most important part of education is inculcating in the students the spirit of we can do it. Real education enhances the dignity of a human being and increases his or her self-respect. He was also of the mind that only if creativity was ignited, the nation could flourish.
One of the earliest educators to think in terms of global village, Rabindranath Tagore's educational model has a unique sensitivity and aptness for education within multiracial, multilingual and multicultural situations amidst conditions of acknowledged economic despondency and political imbalance. Tagore's treatment of his theory has been generally so impressive and so diffused with poetic abstractions and fine emotions that to work out an objective rationale of educational philosophy from it all is a great challenge. Thank you.
Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, the famous Indian educator and social reformer, also considered as the father of Bengali prose. He became principal of Sanskrit College, Kolkata in 1851, where he promoted the study of English and admitted students of lower caste. He was well read in English literature and was influenced by Western ideas. He opposed child marriage and polygamy and did much to promote the education of girls. He was a prolific and vigorous writer.
Shakuntala Devi, the Indian human computer. How fast can you figure out multi-digit multiplication? Well, for most of us, calculator help us do the job. But for one person, it is as easy as 2 times 2. The story catches up with the world so-called human computer, Shakuntala Devi. In 18 June 1980, she demonstrated the multiplication of 2 13-digit numbers and gave answer in 28 seconds. That was a 1982 Guinness Book of Record. Keep believing in numbers, they'll help you along the way.
Breaking the silence, the teachings of Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma thought through silence and words, and taught resting and movement. Sometimes he just sat silent and dissolved the conceptual proliferations of seekers in that silence. In resting like a mountain, gazing at the empty walls of mind's nature, he showed how the minds of duality and conceptual proliferations comes to rest in the basic space of perception and the perceived.
He alone teaches who has something to give, for teaching is not talking. Teaching is not imparting doctrines, it is communicating. The great words by Swami Vivekananda, a teacher for India and the world. A very good morning to one and all. On this beautiful occasion of our Teachers' Day celebration, I would like to share a few remarks on Swami Vivekananda, one of the greatest Indian teachers of all time. As you know, Swami Vivekananda was an Indian Hindu monk. He was a chief disciple of the 19th century Indian mystic Ramakrishna. His teachings and philosophy applied the reinterpretation of various aspects of education, faith, character building, as well as social issues pertaining to India. Swami Vivekananda is not just an example for a good teacher. He really is a true ideal for students. Much has been said and written about him. He is attributed to be the perfect gentleman, and students are excited to be like him. His theories, philosophies of Vedanta have spread far and wide around the world, and people revere him a lot. It's a proud feeling to know that he was born on Indian soil. He believed that the service to mankind should be selfless, as service to mankind is service to God. And hereby, I am concluding my words by wishing our teachers a very happy Teachers' Day. Thank you.
Guru Nanak is considered the founder of Sikhism, and the fundamental beliefs of Sikhism as stated in the Guru Granth Sahib involve faith and meditation on the name of the one creator, unity of all humankind, engaging in selfless services, and many more. He travelled thousands of miles to spread the ideologies of God. He wanted every Gurudwara, the Sikh temple, to have an open kitchen which distributes free meal to anyone every day. This is known as Langar, which is translated as community kitchen.
Savitribai Phule was an Indian social reformer, an educationalist and a poet. She was regarded as the first Indian female teacher and also the mother of Indian feminism. She brought the light of education to the lives of Indian women. She helped them to climb the ladder that all thought was impossible. She believed when a woman got educated, they could stand on their feet and fight against the discrimination they face and eliminate it for once and all. So friends, don't sit idle. Go out and get education. Savitribai Phule.
Chanakya says an uneducated man, no matter how good he may look or to what family he may belong, he is as useless as the flower that has color but no fragrance. He says status of family and physical beauty add no significance to one's personality, and they should never be rested upon. Only education attributes strength, character, knowledge, and virtue to one's personality.
Anand Kumar is a teacher who pursued to provide education for economically backward students.
For those at the bottom, access to expensive coaching classes and ceasing entrance examination is out of the question. As a student, he couldn't reach heights because he was economically backward. So he decided that no other student should lag behind just because he is poor. He started giving free coaching classes to such students, and Super 30 is a biographical film based on his life and efforts as a teacher.
Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. He defines education as the instrument for social, economic and cultural changes, and he believes that the teacher should be the best mind in our country. Through education, he wants to establish a classless society in order to bring equality. He was of the point of view that moral values should be learned through real and living examples. For his contribution to our country, he was awarded Bharat Ratna in 1954. I conclude my word by saying one of the quotes said by Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. The true teachers are those who help us think for ourselves. Thank you and happy Teachers' Day.
Good morning all. On this auspicious day, I would like to share some information about a great philosopher, a mystic and a great teacher and more Abhinav Gupta. He was also considered as an influenced musician, poet, exegete, logician, a polymathic character who has strongly influenced our Indian culture. He rationalized, reconstructed and orchestrated the physiological knowledge into more coherent form by accessing all available sources of his time, and not unlike other scientific researchers at Indology. As we know, teaching is the greatest way of optimism. His teaching was mainly based on monastic thoughts such as karma, kula and drika. With this, I conclude my words and wishing all teachers a happy Teachers' Day. Thank you.
Educational ideas of Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Education is one of the most important moral processes for the development of mankind. The conception of education of Swami Dayananda was religious, social, academical or knowledge-oriented. According to Swamiji, education imparts true and real knowledge about self-development and welfare of all living beings. It is a source that is leading us from darkness to light, from untruth to truth and from ignorance to knowledge. In other words, it inculcates a spirit of service and help to others.
Good morning. Today I intend to speak on A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He is a well-known Indian spiritual teacher and conspicuous adherent of the Indian Vedic cultures. He pronounced the values of the Vedic cultures through Hare Krishna movement. He claimed that this could change the consciousness of the world afflicted with rampant materialisms. His major teachings were, basically, we have not got hatred for anyone, but one who is demoniac or aesthetics. We should avoid their company, because the only business of a preacher is to love God and to enlighten the innocent and spread the knowledge of God.
Vyasa. Vyasa is the legendary author of Mahabharata, Vedas and Puranas, and some of the most immortal works in Indian tradition. The festival of Guru Purnima is dedicated to him. He is also known as Vyasa Purnima, the day which is believed to both of his birth and the day when he divided the Vedas. Vyasa can categorize the primary single Veda into three canonical collections. Hence, he is known as Veda Vyasa or the splitter of Veda. The splitting in a fact that allowed the people to understand the divine knowledge of Veda. Vyasa is considered to be one of the seven Chiranjeevi who is still in existence according to the Hindu tradition.
A teacher affects eternity in his life. He can never tell where the influence stops. We all have faced different types of teachers in our lifetime, but their influence have made a lot of positive changes to our life. There is one such teacher as referred in the history whose teaching have created an impact that somewhat resulted in the commencement of Mahabharata War. The highly regarded teacher of all time, Guru Dronacharya. Guru Dronacharya was a legendary and illustrious teacher of Mahabharata. He was the royal guru of Kauravas and Pandavas. He was the master of the advanced military art, included the Devastras. Hence, I would like to conclude that Guru Dronacharya taught his students more focus on concentration to achieve success in their life.
Bellur Krishnamachar Sundararaja Iyengar, also known as PKS Iyengar, was the founder of style of yoga as exercise, and he was considered one of the foremost yoga teachers in the world. He was the author of many books on yoga practice and philosophy. He has been credited with popularizing yoga first in India, then around the world. The Indian government awarded Iyengar the Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan and the Padma Vibhushan, and he was named one of the 100 most influential people in the world by Times magazine.
Agastya, the yogi who lived centuries before. Agastya is traditionally attributed to be the author of many Sanskrit texts such as Agastya Gita, found in Varaha Purana, and Agastya Samhita, found embedded in Skanda Purana and the Dvaita Nirnaya text. Agastya is an integral part of Tamil literature since the beginning. There is no Tamil language or literature as we know it today without him. Agastya is not only the father of Tamil nation, he is one of the greatest rishis.
Dalpat Rai Srivastavi, better known as Munshi Premchand, was famous for his Hindi stories. He was also an educator. She was first a teacher at a missionary school. Later he was an assistant teacher at a government school. Later he worked in Marwari College, Kanpur. Premchand had a strong view about education, especially women's education. He differed with the customary views in which women had deprived from getting a solid education. And he also discouraged separate curricula and teaching methods for boys and girls. He also wants women to limit their household chores and instead build up their lives using sound knowledge and learning. So I end with this quote: to be successful, what you need is education, not literacy or degree. Thank you.
Let us now welcome the man who doesn't need any introduction, known among all of us for his wisdom and knowledge, our Honorable Principal, Mr. Biju Givargi, sir.
Dear teachers, Namaste. Appreciations to each and every one of you for inspiring, motivating our students, for making them confident enough to face real-world challenges. Thank you for igniting their imagination, for making them compassionate to each and every little. May you live long enough to show our students the right path to follow and the right way to live. May you enlighten many with the light of your wisdom and ignite in them the ever-burning flame of imagination. Happy Teachers' Day, dear teachers. Thank you. God bless you all.
Now, let's see a fabulous dance performance by Gayatri J. You will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. We may be separated, but still connected by hearts. Here are the students of class 12 sharing their memories.
One of my most memorable moments with our teachers was when I was going through a rough day and one of my teachers noticed that I was not feeling good. And even though she was taking class, she was very concerned for me and she talked to me later and made me feel a lot better. Our teachers have always put a lot of effort into teaching us. They have always shown us support and they have always given us a lot of guidance and a lot of love. To the world, you may be just a teacher, but to your students, you are a hero.
I am Gauri. I take this opportunity to share one of my memorable moments. Once I got scolding from one of my favorite teacher for not studying. I was very sad on that day, but I decided not to repeat it again. Due to that, I could score a very good result in 10th standard, especially in that subject. She was more happier than me and my parents. Sometimes it's hard to describe something you had experienced with that much of love. Thank you. Thank you to all the teachers who taught us from KG to 12th, who made us what we are. Thank you. Happy Teachers' Day.
Hi, I am Pranav Podwal of Standard 12. After spending 14 years as a Bhavanite, many of my friends and my dear teachers have filled me with loads of great unforgettable memories. I had this experience when I was in Standard 9th. One day, when the teacher was taking the class, me with some of my friends just laughed for some reason. But she took it in a bad way and thought that I was teasing her. In the next open house meeting, she told my mother about this incident, and out of her love and care on me, she told that she never expected such behavior from me. I truly felt her pain, and this changed my mind to not to repeat that incident again in my life. That day, I realized how each of our small actions can create a great impact on one's mind. This small incident made me realize how dedicated and delicate is the mind of a teacher. Anyway, I conclude my words by truly believing that a teacher plays a great role in shaping one's destiny. Thank you, teachers.
Namaste, I'm Sanjana. First of all, happy Teachers' Day to all my beloved teachers. While I was studying in 10th, I'd been through a really hard time, and all my teachers helped me a lot to get through it, and I'm really thankful for that. Let us remember, one book, one pen, one child, and one teacher can change the world. Malala Yousafzai. Thank you.
I don't think this is the best work that you can put up. These words have been a major motivation and the words that made me believe that things can be improved on constant work. Thank you for letting us think and learn from our mistakes. The patience and constant support that you people have given us is beyond words. A teacher who is indeed wise does not bid you to enter their house of wisdom. Rather, they lead you to the thresholds of your mind.
Namaste to all my teachers. First of all, wishing every one of my teachers a very happy Teachers' Day. Teachers are considered to be our second parents for our students. They always support us and stand by our side whenever needed. From my personal experience, there are so many situations where my teachers have always supported me, whether it is in my studies or it may be some other situation such as when I fell ill at school. Truly, from every aspect, our teachers are considered to be our second parents. So, wishing our teachers a very happy and wonderful Teachers' Day. Teachers would lead the school today, but tomorrow your students will lead the world. Thank you.
If we talk about school memories, no student can pick up a specific memory to talk about, especially when it comes to teachers, because every bench we sit and every chalk we got hit with create flying memories. I consider them to have a great mind and a great talent to able to inspire the people like myself. It is the teachers that make changes, not the classroom. Every teacher have their own part in making our school life memorable. The real reason making our 11th grade so delight and hilarious. We know that teaching can sometimes be thankless. Today, we thank you for giving us an education so priceless.
Now, I invite a person who has been a great support and a constant companion, our beloved Vice Principal, Shri Shobha Shivanandarajan, to speak a few words on this occasion.
I wish for you to be happy. I wish for you to be kind. I wish for you to be joyful. I wish for you to be wise. I wish for you warm arms when your heart is broken. I wish for you strong legs to keep walking. These are random lines from a poem or song I happened to come across. They seemed quite right for the occasion. I believe a teacher is a person who holds the best interests of her student at heart. Every teacher has played a pivotal role in the life of the child. The teacher has always been the parent for the child away from home. She or he has been the child's mentor, tutor, guru, and by the last, I also mean a spiritual guide. All lessons given to a child has always had one greater goal. The lesser goal, as always, has been to fill the child with knowledge and information. Though this is extremely important, it is not enough to make him complete. That completeness comes from the spiritual guidance the child gets from his teachers. And the greater goal I spoke of was making the child a good human being above all else. And so I go by the belief that our teachers are next to God and our parents. With great reverence, I take this opportunity to recall my teachers with gratitude and immeasurable love for grooming me into the person that I am today. My dear children, I would like you to know that without a teacher, the world would be lost. With no malice, spite, or petty feelings, let us all take some time out of our lives and pray for the well-being of our teachers who gave us so much, expecting very little. And to my colleagues, I remind you that your immense work will never go unnoticed. May the Almighty remain with us tomorrow as He is with us today. Happy Teachers' Day.
Good morning to all. Today we celebrate the Teachers' Day and we remember our great teacher Dr. Radhakrishnan. Who is a teacher? A teacher is a guru who is giving light to us from darkness. Of course, the first teacher is our mother itself. The nature is itself a teacher. That means a good teacher is not only giving you a mere knowledge, but making you the best out of you, making you a good citizen, and not only helping you to score higher marks in school examination, but making you being honest, following dharma, living a truth life, and leading a life with a clear mission. That is a good teacher. We are happy that in our Bhavans we have talented teachers, and we wish, the PTA wish all teachers a very, very happy Teachers' Day. Jai Hind.
The rays of sun that illuminate our path, the footprints on the sand that leads us the way, the candle that burns away to brighten our lives. Your deeds remain unmatched, for it is a godly act to impart wisdom, morals and love, to lend a hand to the heart that yearns to learn, seek and explore. Side by side, hand in hand, towards the pot at the end of a rainbow. Our hearts rich in gratitude, eyes gleaming with pride, for the brightest lanterns in the vast sea of life, our teachers.
The rhythm of teaching. Now we have a special tribute to our dearest teachers.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा।
गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदैवताय गुरुकुलस्थायिने गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्यप्रवराय गुरवे गुणगुरवे गुरुदैत्यकलक्षेत्रे गुरुधर्मसदाराध्याय गुरुपुत्रपरित्रात्रे गुरुपाखण्डखण्डकाय गीतसाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतगोत्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्पाय गन्धमत्ताय गोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
Dear teachers, this is your day. Here's a bit from our love. So sit back and enjoy.
Looking back in time, we realize
we have spent more than half our lives here.
more than half our lives
with this family, with our dearest teachers.
14 years that molded us.
from beings that could barely form full sentences.
To citizens of this world that dare to fly high.
You have been unfailingly generous
In your time and efforts,
to shape our lives impermeably.
You have addressed every doubt for the 100th time
with the same enthusiasm as the very first.
No matter how much we disappoint,
you put in unflagging efforts.
Help us bring out our best.
This is that unconditional, boundless love
That puts you before God in the old adage.
Mata, Pita, Guru, Deva.
A love like no other.
You have introduced us
To the greatest historians, leaders,
novelist, artist,
and all this world has to offer, and inspired us to follow in their footsteps and make our way in the world.
but as you guided us
Through these incredible 14 years,
I don't know if you ever realized
the person we all most wanted to be
Was you. So dear teachers, this one's for you.
like a friend who share our joys and sorrows.
like a guide who navigates us through,
Like a philosopher who simplifies the inexplicable,
Like a mentor who molds our lives.
like an angel who dispels confusion.
like a parent who pampers us with love. You are everything rolled